Without fear is virtually impossible, because as humans we're kind of hardwired to resist change. And also, if there is no fear, if change is easy, there's no growth, there's no learning, there's no having to push out of a comfort zone, there's no having to evolve in some way. And so the trick is to not let the fear hold you back, to find enough trust and belief in yourself, in the universe, the divine, God, goddess, source, the moon, whatever name you choose to give, there's something greater we're part of, and yourself. It's about finding enough trust in you to know that even though this change is scary, I trust myself and I know that this is something that I need to do. And it also really helps to feel the fear as excitement. They feel the same in the body. So to tell yourself, I'm excited about this, I've got this, I can do this. You learn and accept that everything in life is seasons and cycles, everything, and this too shall pass. And in the same way we say about kind of the times that are difficult and challenging, this too shall pass, the good times as well, this too shall pass. Everything is in a continual cycle and season and flow. But it also really helps to really take some time to take in what you learned from summer. What was wonderful? What did you enjoy? What gifts you taken from summer? What did it offer you? How did you grow? And as we gather, it's like gathering that harvest. Lamas allowed us to gather in that inner harvest, which then helps us to sustain us through the autumn and winter. When we gather every good part of summer, everything we did that was wonderful, and then we keep that inside. It's like a little fire within us that keeps us going then through the autumn and winter. It's really important in times like this to get very honest around, is this genuine rest that I need before I'm ready? Or am I now frozen, unable to move forwards? When we're frozen, we're stuck, but we need to often get really honest with ourselves about that's what we're doing. And if we're frozen, we're going to wait forever for the moment to come when we finally make that change and make that move. And so it's about distinguishing of, is this genuine rest that I'm still needing? I still need to gather something, learn something, grow in some way before I make this change? Or am I now staying stuck and holding myself back? If you're staying stuck and holding yourself back, you need to just take one movement, do one thing. First of all, get honest that that's what you're doing, you're holding yourself back, and then make a list of the next steps and make them small and manageable, and take one, and then two, and then three, and just start to move. Because we have to give ourselves time to rest and just be. And it doesn't need to be a Sunday. It could be a Monday for you, or a Tuesday, or a Thursday. But everything needs rest. If you try to drive your car at 70 miles an hour continually, your car would break down after not very long. If the moon shone in the sky at full shine all of the time, the moon would probably burn herself out. If nature were in full bloom all of the time, nature again would probably outgrow itself and have nothing left, because there would be no rest, there'd be no regeneration, there'd be no space to gather. And so see whether it is a self-care Sunday or any day of the week, just begin to allow yourselves time to rest and nurture and nourish and gather what it is that you then need to be able to do the things that you need to do. And so slowing down is a beautiful part of life. I would say absolutely yes. Without going too woo, the Lionsgate portal enables us to access light codes that begin to awaken dormant parts of our DNA, that begin to bring parts of us online, that begin to light up parts of ourselves that need to light up. And very often we can't allow for that integration and that shift when we're being too out there in the noisy world, and we're taking in everybody else's energy and everyone else's opinion, and everyone else's stuff is flying around us. And so in order to be able to truly often access deep shifts, we need that quiet time, we need that alone time, so that we can be slow enough to allow that to happen, to allow that light to awaken within us, to hear what it is that we need to hear. And so for any of you right now who are feeling that you need alone or quiet time, it's likely that your system, your body is preparing you to receive this energy upgrade that's coming. So you need to first of all get really honest and clear about the parts of your life that are making you feel unsettled and anxious. And then also begin to give more time and energy to what makes you feel calm, what makes you feel centered, what makes you feel balanced, what brings you back home to you. And so it's identifying and spending less time on or with those anxiety areas and allowing yourself more time in those areas of life that bring you back to you. As we do that, we'll start to bring everything back into balance. And then the more we come back into balance, the more we'll be able to draw boundaries around those parts of our lives that are making us feel anxious and unsettled. Yes and no. So Lammas, which happened on the 1st of August, has always been the cross-quarter festival where we do begin to see the first signs of autumn begin to show through. So Lammas is the peak of summer, it's the height of summer, and it's where then we begin to see the next season begin to come in as well. So this is kind of natural. There is something bigger at play here in the seasons and the shifts of the weather, but I trust Mother Nature. I trust Mother Nature so much. And what is actually needed right now is more and more of us tuning into nature, coming back to the earth, coming back to her seasons and cycles and listening to her wisdom. And so whenever you're in doubt, feel into the earth and feel into what she's got to tell you. Absolutely. We're in Leo season. This is the time to be bold, brave, courageous, shine, go after what you want. And the energy of next week is going to be hugely supportive of this. I've just recorded the Cosmic Weather Report for next week. I'm going to share that when I've done these stories. So look out for that, and it might help explain a little bit more, but absolutely go for it. With Lionsgate Portal as well on Tuesday, next week is such a powerful time to feel that light within you, awaken the power and the courage and the energy within you, be bold and take that risk. So go for it and let us know what happens when you do it. Yeah, of course. And very often when we release something, there is this like void space before what's next comes in. As humans, we're very primed to want what's next immediately. Well, I'll let go of this if I get that, and I get it straight away. And we're not used to sitting in the space in between. And the space in between is actually a beautiful place to be, because in that space, anything is possible. And so if you've done a lot of the releasing work, don't try to fill that space with something else. Allow yourself to just be in that empty space where there's everything yet nothing, and where anything becomes possible, and let yourself be there until something becomes clear. Don't try to rush the process. What's next will appear and become clear when the time is right. There's only you that knows the answer to this. So go inwards, get quiet, get still, and ask yourself, have I been given a fair deal? And listen, you know the answer, or you wouldn't be asking. And very often we ask because we want that validation from the outside world, or we want the approval from someone else to either go back and say, I want a better deal, or to be comfortable with what we've accepted. But the truth is, only you can do that for yourself. And so you know deep down whether you've made the right decision, and you know deep down whether this is a fair deal or not. And so ask yourself and see what comes through. I say this with so much love, but there is a change coming when you make a change. So where are you feeling stuck? Why are you feeling stuck? And what changes can you make to begin to feel more unstuck? We often give so much power away to the outside world, and in truth, you're way more powerful than you know. And so start to get really honest, first of all. The first stage in anything is just that honesty about, wow, I'm stuck. Stage one. And then where am I stuck? Why am I stuck? How am I stuck? And then what can I do right now, little bit by little bit, to begin to get myself unstuck? You hold the power here. So change will come when you begin to make that change. So do one little thing next week that brings about a change and helps you to feel a little bit more unstuck. I got so many of these, so thank you so much. It really, if anything I can say or do helps any of you, even just a little bit along your path, that's my purpose. That's what I came here to do. And I could get so emotional thinking about it, but it means the world to know that I help. And so thank you for all of you that sent me these. And just to put this in perspective, I've got about 600 questions, so I'm trying my best. I'm gonna do a few more, because lots of you often say do more. I just don't want to overdo it, and if I don't answer yours, I'm really sorry. I'll try and get around to as many as I can, and I will keep doing these if they help as well. But thank you, and I'm just so happy I can help. Start to see the magic. Start to see the magic everywhere. Start to see the magic in a sunrise and a sunset, and seeing the moon in the sky, and seeing a leaf or a feather float down next to you, or seeing the way that the light dances on the surface of the water, in the smell of the air, in the feel of your feet on the earth. The more and more we start to see the magic, the more and more it will start to appear to us, and the more and more magical our lives will feel. And so begin by doing exactly what you've said. Begin by inviting magic into your life. There is magic all around us all the time, just waiting for us to notice it. And so begin to invite it in. Begin to make that mantra, I invite more magic into my life. And then just watch what happens. Oh, thank you so much for listening. And I'm so happy that you found me and the moon. And I love Fern, and I love that conversation we had together. It was really, really magical. So thank you. If you've not heard it already, I'll put a link to it here. And you also must listen to her last 2 podcasts she did with Bronnie Ware and David Nutt. They are incredible podcasts too. So definitely check them out. Again, I've got a lot of these, and I just wanted to say thank you. One of my biggest passions is taking what can be a bit woo and mystical and trying to make it really real and relatable. Taking what I've learned over, I've been doing this work for 22 years, and I want to just distill it down so that anyone can take anything from it. And especially in kind of the spiritual world, there's a lot of kind of guru status and people trying to make things more complicated than they need to be, or adding extra little bits on here and there. And I just want to make sure that anyone and everyone can take something from this. And so it really helps to know that I'm doing what I'm really passionate about by being able to explain it in a way that makes it make sense. And so thank you to all of you who said this. If you're happy, you're happy. It's like that saying, if it's not broken, don't try to fix it. You'll know if there's more you're meant to be doing when you begin to feel that there's more that you're meant to be doing. But if you're happy, enjoy this happy season. Enjoy every moment of being happy. Be grateful for feeling happy right now. And then when that little niggle comes, deal with it then. I got so many crystal questions, and that's why I wrote the book Crystals for Self-Care. I wanted to write a book that wasn't just another book that was like, this is a rose quartz and this is clear quartz, but it told you what crystals to begin with, and also you've got the crystal, now what? Because so many people get crystals and they're like, well, what do I do with it? I wanted to write a book that tells you what to do with it, how you can work with these crystals, how you can cleanse them and charge them and work with them and grid them. And so it goes through everything you need to know about a crystal journey. I think it's only £8 on Amazon at the moment, or you can get it from any other bookseller. And then if you want to buy crystals, I created Soul Emporium because I knew many of you would then want to buy crystals but not know where to get them from or where to start. And I wanted you to be able to go somewhere that you trust. And so in Soul Emporium, we only work with ethical suppliers. We can trace back where they came from. And so if you want to buy crystals, Soul Emporium's your place. I'm writing my next book at the moment. I don't know if that's meant to be a bit of a secret, but there we go. The cat's at the back. I'm writing my next book at the moment. It's due in actually very, very soon. It's going to be out next year. I'm really, really excited about this one. And then over autumn, we're going to just start to create a lot more courses and workshops. And so help me out. Is there anything that you want to know? I get asked a lot about astrology workshops. Perhaps we'll create some of those. Goddesses, all those kind of things. So if there's anything you want me to look at creating over the autumn and winter, let me know. But I'm feeling really good about everything at the moment. My next book isn't about astrology. I don't know if I can tell you what it's about. I'm going to check. I'm going to check with my publishers on Monday whether I'm allowed to share yet what it's about. And if it is, I'm going to let you know, because then you can share with me anything you'd like me to include in it. But the next one isn't about astrology. There is a little bit of astrology in there, but maybe the one after can be. Maybe there is an astrology book that needs to come through. Let's see. Or certainly some astrology workshops, courses, different things like that. I will definitely, I know a lot of you do ask, so I will, let me see what I can do. Stop looking for them in your head. You can't solve a problem with the same mind that creates it. And so when you go into your mind for answers, your mind is going to argue both sides of the argument. Your mind is going to convince you of one thing and then argue against itself, against the thing. That's when it gets all confusing. Drop into your body, drop into your heart wisdom, drop into your intuitive wisdom. We've been very much taught not to trust here. You know, what do you mean you just know that you've got to do something? What do you mean there's just a knowing in there? We've been very much taught to live from this masculine way of like, if it's not logic and in a spreadsheet, then it's not right. But that's what we need to change. And so come out of here and drop down into here and get still and quiet and listen. And that's where you're going to find the answers. We find the answers in stillness within. And also, just on this point, if you want to start to learn about astrology with me already, the Lunar Living Sisterhood is the place to go. So in the Lunar Living Sisterhood, I share with you every new and full moon the exact astrology of what's going on at that moon. And in the membership hub, there is information about what all the planets represent and what all the aspects mean. And then as I go through with you in our private membership circle, that particular moon, I talk about all the astrology at play around each moon. So it's a really beautiful, kind of easy way to start to learn astrology and the terminology and what it all means. And so if you are keen to learn astrology with me, jump in there and you will learn a lot about astrology as well as about the moon, and most of all about yourself. You will learn so much about yourself through Lunar Living. Loves, I'm going to leave it there because I never know how much is too much. I want to post your cosmic weather report for this week, and I've also got a little bit of writing still to do before I can finish today, so I'm going to get on with all of that. Thank you so much though for all of your questions. There were so many of them, and some of them need much longer answers. So we have started a YouTube channel. I know that's a bit of a swear word on here, but there we go. It's not quite up and running yet, just with my book deadline being so close. But from the autumn onwards, I want to start trying to at least once a week answer questions in a lot more detail and depth. So those questions that need more than a minute, I'll be able to really give them the energy that's necessary. So you can submit questions to questions@kirstygallagher.com. And then, as I say, from autumn onwards, I will start to post much longer form answers over on my YouTube channel. And final thing before I go, I'm really sorry there's no captions. Instagram does not like captions. And whenever I try and post things with captions, it just doesn't do anything, and then it'll come up with a big red line saying waiting for connection and won't post anything. I have reported it, I'm being dramatic, I know, but about 150 times, and it just never seemed to do anything with it. And it gets painful when I do all these story answers and then I lose them all because it won't upload. It just comes up saying waiting for connection and won't do anything. So I'm really sorry there are no captions. I'm hoping they're going to get it sorted out very, very soon. And just thank you all once again for all your questions, and send me some good writing vibes. I need some really good writing vibes for the next few hours, so send some my way.